This is the biggest, longest rig on the iGauntlet ever. There's a couple of semis coming up, and one of them is broken.
Aha.
So this is how hard this test is. Of course, the biggest magic trick of this truck is that you could hook up a trailer without even using the jacks.
There you go.
Welcome to the biggest and baddest and one of the heaviest, world's toughest towing tests of all time.
Oh, this is so cool. This is a modified Ford F550 on the Super Ike.
And you gotta watch this because we're towing heavy. This is a 44-foot long trailer.
Long
This
trailer.
is basically a semi-truck.
Yes, we're in the big rigs now.
Mr. Truck, this is gonna be an exciting iGauntlet.
This is the first time we've ran a 550 to the tunnel.
Yes, and also the first time we're having this big of a trailer and this big of a
I
load.
know, 44 feet long
Yes.
and 27,000 pounds?
Yes!
Well, this is so cool, man.
Well, this is my CDL on the line, Mr. Truck.
Well, that's right. I'm not going to show them mine. I got to get a new one next month. By God.
All right, if this motorhome moves out of the way, then we'll be fine.
Yeah, you said 44 foot on the trailer. How much further do we need to go? A couple feet to become a semi-trailer?
Yes. Well, overall length.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about truck plus trailer. I mean, we're super close. Let me show you what happened at the truck stop.
Okay.
Well, I just ran over the scales to get the weight of the truck, and take a look. Our trailer right here, the Diamond C, next to an 18-wheeler, full-size semi. They're almost in line in the back, and let's walk forward. They're almost in line in the front. This is the biggest, longest rig on the iGauntlet ever. There we have it, Mr. Truck. We got the weight. Total combined 37,140, and which means basically we're hauling about 27,000 pounds of trailer, and our tongue weight is about 4,300 pounds. So the tongue weight is, yeah, what is that? So divide by 27,000. That's about 16% tongue weight, which is just right.
So we're going to go semi-rules. That means 35 miles an hour.
Yep.
Are we over? Guess we over 26 GVW? 26
Yeah, we're at 37.5, my friend.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. So, I've enabled tow haul mode, I've enabled automatic exhaust brake, and I'm gonna tap my brake right there at 35, and let's see if it'll hold me.
So you're running about what, 2,700 RPMs?
3,000 now.
We jumped up, yeah.
Third gear.
Well, I guess that's about where it should be. Yeah, this is interesting. You know, we just got back from that Ford Detroit launch in 2023, which is what this is.
Yes.
2023. And while I was pulling that 40,000 pound trailer up through all these 7% grades,
Yes.
the proving ground, that fan was going like crazy.
Yeah, and we're seeing the same thing here.
Yeah, so that's why with 3 radiator system they have, supposed to keep it cool, but I'm sure that fan has to work hard because you're pulling a lot of load, and you know there's a lot of stress on everything. So I don't know if they do anything different with the transmission or if these are different fluid. Now they're pulling 40,000 pounds. It's pretty exciting to do that last week.
Yes, that was really cool.
Yeah, 27 is still pretty exciting.
Yeah. So I have to use my brake right now. So let me. I'm approaching 40 miles an hour. So let me use my brake, and I'm gonna bring it to about 32, 33.
Are we going to count brake applications on
Yep,
this?
that was the first one.
Okay, first one. Boy, this road has gone to crap since the skiers left because the chains were beating the crap out of it. This is terrible.
Yes, but I have liquid spring on this truck. So let me go into comfort mode.
Those are cool.
On the fly. This is the truck we're using today. It's the all-new 2023 Ford Super Duty F550 Lariat. And this is the truck by Elevation Off Grid. check them out using the link in the description below. They call it the Black Series, and they put it on hydraulic liquid spring suspension on 41-inch tall tires, but it's still supposed to be a heavy-duty truck, which means it will tow up to 30,000 pounds. And this is why we're here testing it. I'm calling it the heavy-duty Raptor, and you could see it also off-road in the previous edition of this. So I have an off-road video, but this is all about doing truck stuff. I'm in third gear, and I'm using, what is it, says 50% exhaust brake. I have new diesel measurements. So my PSI in my turbo is about 14 PSI. Engine brake is at 77%. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Exhaust filter is about 50%. Def level is about 63%.
Well, that's interesting because this new turbo and this is the high output.
Well, this is the commercial version of it.
Right. So this turbo is made for higher PSI, as I recall.
Yes. Up to about 34.
Yeah.
We'll see how it breathes on the way up.
Yeah. That's where the big test will be. But now, you got all that going on, so hopefully we're reducing speed with as many things as we can, along with the brakes, the exhaust brake. Okay, I have to use brake one more time. That was 40 miles an hour. Let me break it down to about 32 right there. That's 2.
That's the second brake application.
Yeah, 2 brake applications.
Well, you know what? I feel like I'm the king of the road.
Do you?
We're sitting tall.
Yeah.
The steering is super easy, super stable.
If you want to on our way back, we'll stop at Burger King and get you one of those crowns so you can pretend you can be the king of the road if we get you a paper crown.
Okay. So I can change my modes. I can also change my height. Right now we're in normal driving height, so we're not too high, not too low.
Right.
And those 41-inch
tires.
Those are huge tires.
Andre, what tarnation are we doing? What makes this a heavy-duty Raptor?
Well, I'm throwing that term around for a reason. This truck has a fully customized suspension. It's still got solid axles front and rear, but take a look. It's got a multi-link rear suspension like a Raptor would have. It has height sensors like a Raptor would have, has height adjustability, and also the suspension is live.
Well, cool. Well, is it the same track front and rear? Because this is an off-road truck.
Yes, that's why it's using these very special wheels and tires that we could show right now.
These are big, beefy off-road tires. Now, this is a 41-inch tire. It's tall. It's a 335-80R20. We know it's a radial. And if you look down here, it says load range F. That is 12-ply, like a standard 550 cabin chassis would have 12-ply. And this only runs at 80 pounds. I'm surprised it's not higher than that, but I'm sure they want it to flex and be better for off-road. So it's a great tire, 10 bolt, just like a 550 would be, but there's something special about the wheels.
This is a very special wheel. It's also called a super single conversion, but this is not a wheel you may have seen before. This is a special design by our friend Justin Waring, and he works with the guys at Elevation Off Grid. Basically, it's a 20-inch wheel, like Mr. Truck just said, but it's also reversible, so you can rotate these wheels and tires. You can just turn them around and to get the right offset, so it's basically a true track, and it's also very, very strong, and it has the Schrader valve for airing up the tire on both sides. So all you have to do, if you're rotating tires, just flip them around and you're good to go. So we've stayed in third gear pretty much the entire run.
Everybody should have that. Tell you what gear it's in.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, they all should have that. If you're a real trucker, if you're really doing things, you need to have turbo boost. You need all these things, including what gear it is. I mean, that's just how you learn how the truck handles and how you want to adjust things. I mean, manually shifting a lot of times, and it's kind of it's a good thing. And you're letting the machine do it. So we're in tow haul mode. Yep. Seeing what the computer says to do.
And finally, we're here. We're finishing our downhill run. It's kind of leveling off soon. That was 4 brake applications so far, right?
Now your temperature all okay too? Your engine cooling?
So far, and the fan hasn't been on too much yet.
Just when you first take off, it does everything it can to cool you down. Then it gets some air through it, through all 3 radiators on this one.
Yep. Well, there you have it. We're done.
Nothing wrong with 4 brake applications. It happens in the automatic mode for the exhaust brake.
Yes, so I was trying to maintain my set speed. I used my brake to set my speed.
That's good. That's
so
good.
so 4 brake applications for this completely, different suspension and higher ride height truck. That's still pretty impressive, I would
Right.
say.
Now, what you want to remember too, with 4 brake applications, we're only going 35 miles an hour.
Yes.
Which is what the semis deal with. So, if we were going 70 miles an hour, I imagine there would have been a few more brake applications, but we're trying to follow the rules.
Right.
What do you think? Do you think there would have been more brake applications?
I know, it's hard to say.
At 65?
It's hard to say.
I know.
All right, well, let's see how it works going up the mountain as well.
Up the mountain.
We're hauling this military vehicle. That's our ballast, our weight. Weighs 15,000 pounds. You take the military truck and the trailer, you're at 27,000. It's 44 feet long. It's got a live tail on it, so you can just lower it down with a button and drive up on it. It's got great traction. It's got a cool flooring that's made to make the wood last long and give you traction in snow. It's got a deck up on the neck. I love those. Chain boxes, a winch on the trailer, little doors all over, chain box. It's got a place to tie on all your special straps like a semi does, and a place to put them when you're not using them. It's got hydraulic jacks and a whole bunch of lights back here. You can do this in the middle of the night.
It's a Diamond C.
It's a Diamond C 44-foot gooseneck trailer, heavy duty.
All right, Mr. Truck,
Yes, sir.
this is going to be a big one.
Yep.
We are going to launch ourselves up the mountain in this humongous truck.
Can you get the 35 before we get on the highway here?
I'm trying.
You're trying.
I'm full throttle now. Are you ready to start the timer?
I am ready.
Starting now.
Cool.
I was at 32-ish.
Okay, well, that's close. We'll see how long it takes to get to,
There's the fan.
yeah. So this is 35 going up too? Or is it?
Well, actually, I don't think we have to keep any special speed limit on the way up.
Okay, so we can go 60 or 65.
We could try to go 60 because the speed limit is 60.
Okay.
But we don't have any special semi-truck
Oh, cool.
level
Well, turn on,
of
yes.
speed limit.
Turn on the afterburners. Let's go. Kick some butt.
All right.
You're up to 42.
So, this truck was born with a 430-to-1 rear axle.
Fourth, that's good. That's nice and low. I like that.
Well, it could have been lower. I mean, it just depends on what you want.
488 and all that.
Yeah. And of course, it was born with a big diesel engine and a 10-speed heavy-duty transmission.
Yes.
But it's not the same rating as you would see on an F350 high output, right?
Was this in high output? I didn't even look at the tag. Is it red?
No, it's not, because it's a chassis cab.
Okay.
You cannot get a high output in a chassis cab.
Okay. That's all because of the EPA rules and all that for
Yeah.
measuring all that. Because they don't even measure mile per gallon on a truck like this. But I guess that's still a commercial rule.
Well, that's why we test them, Mr. Truck, is because we want to see exactly what happens. Let's look under the hood.
Holy cow, it's a great big diesel.
Bam! It's a 6.7 liters of power stroke. It's the newest iteration of that engine, right?
Yes, and hooked to a 10-speed.
Yep, but the rating is not what we're used to, right? If this was a regular dually or an F250, you could have a high output version. This is a commercial grade engine. 330 horsepower and 950 pound-feet of torque. This is a commercial rating on this motor. And I think it's not a bad thing. I think it makes the engine last longer, and this makes this truck serviceable and really nice.
Yeah, and a 430 axle on that is a good thing to have with that engine, Helps you on the power side of that.
So I'm gonna show you some data in the gauges. So engine coolant is around 203 right now. The fan really helped.
Yeah.
Transmission temp is 219. Engine oil temp is 217. So we'll be monitoring this. PSI is at about 20 PSI. And we're maintaining about 42 miles per hour.
Yeah, and that's cool. So this is, this looks like the fan kicked off,
Yeah.
which is good. And so, this has got like 3 radiators. This is all made for cooling, but it can still get hot with, hot day with a big load like this going uphill, I would think.
Yeah, it's back. The cooling fan is back because our temperatures are going higher. And this is what we really wanted to find out. Can this custom, really, really awesome truck still do work? Our temperature right now, ambient, is about 73 degrees. So it's actually a really warm day.
Yeah, we're not even at semi-speed. We're at 32 miles an hour. So we're going up pretty tight to the grade here.
This is 7% grade. This is the world's toughest towing test because of the stretch, 8 miles, and also elevation. All right, Mr. Truck, so let's lower the jacks. Of course, the biggest magic trick of this truck is that you can hook up a trailer without even using the jacks.
Really? Oh, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Special truck suspension. Yes.
So let's show that.
Cool. Good gosh, that's got a giant brake caliper. Look how big that thing is. Woo.
Okay, so I'm unhooking this. I'm unhooking the chains. I'm gonna pull the pin.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that came out easily.
So now the hitch is released from the truck.
Yes.
So now what I can do is I can lower the truck and see if we can actually use that.
Well, that's cool. And then if you lowered the truck, raise the trailer, you got this thing way up in the air.
I'm going down. Yes. All right, let me just drive around and compare this truck to a standard F350. So in the lowest position, this truck is only a couple of inches taller, maybe 3 or 4 inches taller than the standard F350 dually, and the beds are almost the same height. Am I tall?
You look pretty tall to me. Do you mean to walk underneath it?
Yes.
Man, look at the forks on the front of this. They told you that's a solid shaft.
And now it's much taller.
Eight inches. Whoop, right there. There you go. You got it.
Woohoo!
We're slowing down.
31.
31. Well,
Do you
that's
want
what it
to
is.
walk outside and walk?
Yeah, here, let me, I'll ride on the running board.
Well,
I mean,
you might say, oh, it's slowish, right? But remember, 10 years ago, you and Roman did the first iGauntlet we've ever done.
I do with a dually.
With a dually Ram.
A horse trailer.
And how fast were you going? Do you remember?
Do I remember?
You were
10
crawling.
Years ago?
You were crawling.
I know.
It was about 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, it was a big horse trailer too. Yeah, it was. I don't think it was this heavy, but it was big.
Well, I'm glad all these systems are keeping the temperatures in check.
Well, that's good. Everything seems to be working. So, you know, and let's see, what gear are we in? We're in fifth.
Fifth.
That's pretty good.
7th gear is 1-to-1.
Right.
And then we have overdrives. Of
3
course.
overdrives. Yeah. This is a good test. I mean, that's what we do, is a good test, because this is really cool. See how a lifted truck works, a modified truck. And, you know, this is super modified. I mean, this is an F550 for crying out loud.
And it's a pickup.
Yes.
Well, the interior of this truck is now familiar because this is a Lariat and this is the new generation of it.
Yes, we just looked at these last week in Detroit.
Yep, so all the things you're used to in chassis, in commercial chassis trucks, you cannot get a King Ranch or a Platinum or a Limited. This is kind of as nice as it gets. But that's where Elevation Upgrade steps in, right? Yeah. Because they give you a few more features like this. So this is their dash controller for the suspension. You have 3 different modes: comfort, normal, and sport. We were using normal a lot today.
Right.
And also comfort. Sport is more for kind of spirited driving, faster driving.
A little stiffer.
A little stiffer, and it's also will even you out in corners.
Really?
So that's why I'm calling it the Raptor, is because when you're going in the corner, even with a trailer, it will try to pump up, the outside. So you don't lean.
And I can do it really fast. It'd have to on a corner, like a switchback.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, is it acting as fast as a normal shock? Probably not. But still, it's fast enough to be very effective.
Oh, cool.
And here's my height. I have 5 different heights to choose from. Do you want to measure the sound level?
Yes. Good idea.
So let me get us on this section, and then I'll be quiet. Okay?
Yeah, that'd be good if you're quiet. Be quiet, Andre, Mr. Truck Jr. Well, that's pretty good. 60 and 61. When the fan's not running, this is a quiet truck.
You know what else they do at Elevation Upgrade? They also have these, it's an additional option, but they do a special insulation.
Oh.
You know, they pull up the carpets, they pull up, you know, the door cards, they insulate the entire truck so that, oh, by the way, it's telling us a height restriction is ahead. The new navigation system
that is
from
so
Ford.
cool from Ford.
Yeah, so when you're in tow haul mode and you're pulling a trailer, the system will kind of direct you on the major highways and tell you about like weight warnings on bridges,
Right.
and height warnings. Oh, look, show them.
We're not going to break records though, but we're hitting 8 minutes.
We're here 8 minutes and we're not done yet.
No, we're not done.
But you know what? We have a different kind of standard for heavy-duty trucks.
Well, that's true.
Right?
The semis don't race up here either.
No, the semis are going 25 miles an hour up this mountain. So, and there's a couple of semis coming up, and one of them is broken.
Aha.
So this is how hard this test is.
Yeah, that's true. So hopefully it'll only take up one lane.
All right, I see the finish line, Mr. Truck. Is it 9 minutes yet?
Yeah, we're over 9 minutes.
Okay.
So that means I should predict what it's going to be. You want to predict, or does that matter?
How about I'm gonna say 11 minutes? What do
That's
you?
what I wanted.
You wanted 11?
I'll go 10 3/4, 10.75.
Okay. We set up the trailer. This is the 44-foot Diamond C. It's a gooseneck electric over hydraulic. So Ford allows you to define that, right?
Yes.
That's pretty sweet. Trailer brake effort high. This is really, really heavy loads.
Okay.
And also, this is what we were talking about, Mr. Truck. It's giving us warnings about height restrictions.
Yeah.
So this is what you can define, but right now it's defined at 9 feet tall. So you wouldn't think it would be really worried about that.
Yeah, it seemed like it was giving us warning on a 13.5-foot one,
Right.
which is what semis can fly underneath. So yeah, I was kind of confused. Maybe that system's not that adjustable or smart yet. It just tells you something's 13.6 ahead, but
Well, that's how you define it. We're passing semis. Yes.
This is 7%, right?
Yes.
So there you go.
And we're at 11,000 feet above sea level.
yeah, you're going to
which-
win this bet. That's for
Which,
sure.
30% less air density. We
Right.
don't have a lot of oxygen up here. Can you breathe? Are you breathing?
Breathe in and out. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm not congested anymore. Still snow up
Oh,
here.
we're in 4th gear, Mr. Truck.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised how
We're-
long it stayed in 5th. That's
We're at
pretty
the
good.
top of the mountain.
Yep.
Are you ready with the timer?
Yes, I am. Standing by.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Stop the timer.
13.01.
13 minutes, 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm showing 2.1 miles per gallon.
Well, I bet that's what semis are
Wowza.
getting up that same hill.
Wowza.
Yeah, and we had a lot of normal trucks pulling small trailers. They were getting 3.
Yeah.
So this shouldn't be unexpected.
Well, we'll show at the end of my run in Denver.
Yes.
We'll show what I got overall.
That's good. That's good.
Because we're going to be also heading downhill.
Right. So all you hot shotters out there that are trying to figure out if you want this new 550
Yeah.
or what you can do, we'll have an average fuel mileage pulling 27,000 pounds on a 44-foot trailer. Most of your hot shots have 40-footers.
Yes. As always, with an iGauntlet, we're using a 5-star rating to judge how well this truck did.
Sure.
So the first star is the downhill performance. What do you think?
I think it's very good going downhill. This is a super Ike. I mean,
Yes.
This is a super Ike. Anyway.
Super loaded.
Super loaded. Going downhill, we're going 35 miles an hour because it was a semi lane, and that's the rules for this size of a truck and this
Right.
weight. So, it had 4 brake applications, and we don't know what it would do at 60 miles an hour. So I think we ought to take quarter of a point off, is what I think.
Yeah, because I would expect the perfect performance would be 1 brake application.
Yeah.
But we've never tested another lifted truck like this.
That's
So
true.
this is kind of new territory. So that was a really good performance already. Now, on the way up the hill, we have to recalibrate our system because this is heavy duty territory. We'll be doing more heavy duty trucks in the coming weeks. So that was about 13 minutes on the way up
Right, 13 minutes.
and 2.1 mpg mpg.
But you know, that's impressive.
Yeah, so it did wonderfully. The traction and the stability were excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, I never felt like the trailer was going to push me around. Nothing like that. It was really, really good. So,
And it can't squat because of that system on it.
no, it cannot squat.
squat.
So I'll take a quarter of a star off just because it was a little slowish. But we'll see in coming weeks how other trucks perform.
That's true. It may be the bench.
Now, towing features. It's got everything. Hookup ability, hitch, height adjustment. Sorry.
Or the mosquitoes or something.
Brake controllers, cameras. It's got it all.
It does.
Yes.
Self-adjusting and everything. And you can take us off-road when you get done trailing with it. Oh, it's awesome.
Full star. Comfort, also full star. I think the seats are comfortable. Everything else, it was quiet. What else do you want?
I want a little deeper step. It had a power step, which was cool. It dropped down. I just had to run and get on it, jump in, but no, it wasn't bad.
Overall efficiency, well, we don't know until we get back to Denver what overall efficiency will be, but it's got a large tank. You can do double tanks. It's a big truck, heavy truck, so I think it's pretty good because it's got that fuel capacity.
Well, exactly. And I imagine if we were driving a semi, we'd have the same results.
Yes, so I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars out of 5. Super good performance.
It's a fun truck, and it's usable everywhere.
And as always, go back to store.mrtruck.com
That's true.
and oldtfl.com for everything automotive right there.
The odometer is off a little bit, by about 5 to 6%, but the trip meter is showing 5.2 mpg. So this is probably a little bit higher, like 5.6 or closer to 6 mpg, but that's the result of this lifted truck with almost maximum load.